Okay, students, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Mendix to add some edits into your app so that you don't get garbage data out in your database. Let's go and look at the app, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's go ahead out to our customer area, and we'll go to add a new customer. What do you think might happen if I just go ahead and save without entering any data at all? Well, it's a little hard to see, but I actually just added a blank row. That's kind of pointless, right? Or what if I said new and I just put in a phone number? Save. And we can see that's not really any more useful. There was somebody's phone number, but I have no idea whose that is because I didn't enter a name. So this is a problem. We don't want to get garbage. We don't want to get just rubbish into our database. So what I'm going to show you next is how to add some edits so that there's at least some data that's required. So you go ahead and you talk to your product owner because they would be the ones to decide what is the minimum amount of data that you need to add an object, like to add a customer, to add a product, etc. So you talk with Hannah, and she decides that in order for a customer to end up in the database, there should be a first name, a last name, and a phone number. In terms of products, there should be at least a product name and a price. And this kind of makes sense, right? When we think about the product data, we did have that mint lemonade, and that, of course, doesn't have a cake flavor or an icing. All right, let me show you how to put that into Mendix then. So this edit is actually going to go on the customer new edit page, because this is the page where you go ahead and you enter your data or you change the data and then you save it. So when that save button is clicked, Mendix will build code that will go ahead and verify all the data and all of the edits that you ask it to. So we want to make sure that before any information, before a customer is saved, or if you make changes, that there's at least a first name, a last name, and a phone number. So to put in these edits, come to your first data element here, your first name, double click. And if you come down here a little bit, you can see validation right now is none. If you do the drop down, you can change that to be required. Now you can also put in a custom message that you want to show to the users if this validation edit is violated. The default message is just to say something like this data element is required. And actually, you'll see when we test it out, I think it's probably sufficient. So we're not going to put a custom message in at this point. And we'll say, okay. And we decided that last name, Hannah wants the last name as well. Down to validation and required. Okay. And the phone number was the third one. Open up the properties, go to validation and required. And you can see if you scroll through here, you can see there's lots of things that you can go ahead and sort of configure for a text box. All right, let's go ahead and save all, file, save all, and then we'll go try this out. We'll run our app locally and view it. Come over to the customer. And if we say new, and we'll try again to add just that blank row out there. If we save it, oh, see, we get these messages now. This field is required. And you can see what I'm saying. with just the standard message is probably sufficient. I don't think we need to customize this message. And you can see as we start to enter data, our edit messages go away. Like if I try and save now, nope, I've still got my 2 edit messages. I can enter in an email address, although it's not required, so that's okay to leave blank, but the phone number is required. And when we save, I do load more. We can say that went ahead and was saved. You can see there was some data up here where I did not enter a phone number. And let's do our view edit. And here, if I try and save it right now, we can see I can't save it. If I were to try and make any changes here, I would have to put in a phone number. And now I can go ahead and save it. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Let's go put in those similar edits into the product. So I come to my product new edit, and Hannah decided that the name and the price should be required. So name, double click to open the properties, validation, required. Okay, and for the price, double click, the validation is required. And okay. File, save all, and then let's go view the app. Rerun it to get those changes out to the app. Your app is running. View app. This time we're going to go test out products. If we come to products and we say new, and we try to add, we get this field is required. But hey, didn't we put in required on price as well? Well, I'll tell you what's happening here. Because 0 is actually data, it does pass that required edit. If we were to take this out and then save, we do get the required data. So this looks good as well. We should actually make sure that we can add one. So we'll have test product. How about that? Product, price $23.45, and save. And if I load more, I can see there's my test product. Okay, so there you go. That's how you can go ahead and add some edits in to make sure that you have at least the minimum data before an object is added. Now, you can probably imagine we're still not really all that foolproof. You could still get lots of garbage in your database. There's other edits we could add. Maybe you don't want to have things with a price of 0 or a negative price. So you could put in some edits that the price must be greater than 0, those sorts of things. But for right now, for our class, we've got the idea, and we're doing great.